Such an inspiring journey, right? I think having everything in place and people focusing on health is a difficult thing, but with all that you have on your plate, amazing to see you transform. And not just that, I think you're taking one step further, being an inspiration by running marathons as well, right? Congratulations once again, Raika. While I quickly share my screen, I would request all of us to answer at least three questions for me. I think that will kind of help us shape our conversation today, right? So the first question that I want to ask is, when was the last time that you ran, right? You could mention a month and a year, or probably just a year if it was too long ago. So that we know. Wonderful. Mayank ran today. Arjun ran today. Great. Ayan ran 1 month back. Yogi ran today. Even I ran today. Good. Good. 3 days back, last week, yesterday, October. All right. 1 month ago. Great. Great. Wonderful. Wonderful. Now, on to my second question. What is the maximum that you have run in one instance or in one go? It could be anywhere between 200 meters to 42 kilometers. Everything is a run. Great. Wonderful. Wonderful. Wonderful to see a lot of distance coming here. 5 kilometers, 21, 15 kilometers. Nice one, Chitralekha. Right? Great, great, great. 67 kilometers. That's amazing. So we have an ultra marathoner also among us. Very good, very good. All right. So now the last third question. Did any of you start running to lose weight? You chose starting the running as a way to lose weight. Vaisakhi, I assume it's 600 meters. Okay. Good. Good. All right. Great. Now getting to our topic, right? Can anybody run? Let's explore. If anybody can run, or can anybody run, right? So just to introduce myself, like I was asking the last third question, right? I exactly started running for the very same reason, that I wanted to lose weight. I started running when I was almost 99 kilos, close to 100, and that was the starting point of my journey. And I am Narayan, and this is me right now. So what happened between picture one and picture two is more than 6,000 kilometers, not on bike, on my feet for last 5 years, right? And couple of other stats out there. Okay, all these are the stats that of an event that I participated in, right? Like Rekha was sharing about the Wipro run last year. So these are all for the events. Outside this, there is training runs that I've completed, which is accumulated for that 6,000 kilometers. Right? Through these, what has happened is running has become a integral part of my life. It has become my identity. Right? So let's look through as to what can be learned today. Right now, you know what I've done so far. Now, what's in store today? Right. So we're focusing on taking away three things today. Right. One, if you've never run, right, especially for some people who told that they're only running away from the getting wet or running behind their kids now, not into running as such, right? So we would want you to start and explore the joy of running if you have not experienced it till now. And second, a lot of us here have run 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers, 15 kilometers, right? So we want to share some insights that can help you run more, run better, and run injury free, right? That's the second objective that we're trying to achieve today. And third, of course, we want to inspire all of us here to make or adopt running as a lifestyle, right? So these are the three things that we want to achieve in today's session, right? Let's look at the benefits of running, right? I think most of us know this, the benefits of running physically. Definitely, it's wonderful exercise for our cardiovascular health, and then host of other benefits. I don't want to delve too much into that physical part today. Now, second, mental. all of us who have at least run more than 2 kilometers will agree, right? After 10, 15 minutes, right, you kind of get into the situation where you are reducing anxiety, reduces a lot of stress. It suddenly boosts your mood, right? And it also gives a sense of accomplishment, right? And if you're stuck with doing something, probably just heading out for a 15, 20-minute run is a wonderful idea. Okay. And the third aspect, or the third benefit that a lot of people do not speak much about is the emotional part of it, right? Like Rekha was telling earlier, and like all of us have experienced, right? Running builds discipline, right? Even for a simple 5 kilometer or a 10-kilometer run, you at least have to prepare for minimum of 3 months, right? Which is 90 days of focusing and doing something day in, day out. It's not easy, right? Second, it is a form of moving meditation. I am sure all of you who have conquered some miles agree with me after the cheer and crowd and everything, the remaining distance, right? A lot bigger part of the run, whenever you run, is predominantly with your footsteps, your heartbeat, and then your breath, nothing else. So it's a form of moving meditation. And then, of course, for all the busy moms out there, busy dads out there, and everybody else, right? It's a me time, right? And like Hanmant was rightly pointing out, the average age of anybody who's a marathon runner is above 40, which means a lot of people start quite late, right? Without any athletic background. And those are the key benefits of running among many other things that are there. Okay. So we do not want to share more on that. Let's understand, right? One fact is that running is a sport that can be embraced by anybody in the family, right? You could have, we just saw with Rekha's picture, we could have even a 9-month-old kid, right? And a 5-year-old kid running all the way up to 80 or 85-year-old person running. So all of us in between that definitely can run, right? Now, moving on to the next part. What are the common mistakes that we do, right? Most of us, when we start running or when we are introduced to running, one mistake that all of us do is running on all the days, right? We think if mostly somebody who's good with walking 5K steps, 10K steps, then they transition into running, they think it is similar to walking, let's run all the days. And that's the first mistake that most of us do. What is the second mistake that all of us do? Expecting too much too soon. Right? I've started running, probably I was running 1 kilometer in 8 minutes, and suddenly I'll start setting very high goals. But remember to take it slow, because to just build your cardiovascular fitness or your aerobic fitness, right, you take 90 to 120 days. So give yourself some time. And the third common mistake that a lot of us do, which is a common, or rather the major reason for a lot of people ending with injuries, is ignoring warm up and cool down. Right. I'll just tell a very simple story for this. When I started running, right, after running a 10-kilometer run or even a 5-kilometer run, I used to take up to about 2 days to get back into my usual walking style. Right. That is how difficult it was. But now, with adopting some basic changes, I could run the day I ran my marathon last year in Mumbai. The same day, within 3 hours, I could go to the airport, catch my flight, come back to Bangalore, and ride on a bike from Bangalore airport to my home, and then attend a event as well. All of this as if I just ran a 5 kilometer, right? So what is the difference? Let's understand a little bit more. So these are the common mistakes that we do. Let's see what we need to do. We want to get better. Before speaking about that, I just want you to, I just want to ask you guys, ever wonder why every runner gets a medal? If you participated in an event, you will understand. Or I would want you to answer. Why would every runner get a medal? Still looking for answers. because we
It's
paid the
about the
money
effort,
to
not
run.
about coming first or last.
That's very much true, Rekha. Okay, that's to encourage everybody. Okay, to motivate. Okay, the spirit of participation itself is rewarded. Great. To encourage everyone. All right. For the efforts. Great. That's true. So every runner is awarded a medal. Yeah, participation is a key. Every runner is rewarded a medal. You're given a medal or you're awarded a medal not for what you did that day, not for those 5 kilometers, not for those 10 kilometers, not for those 2 kilometers also. It is for the discipline that you have built to run that particular event, right? It is for the effort that you're putting to prioritize your own health, right? That's the reason why you're awarded a medal, irrespective of whatever pace you finish. Because running is all about you versus you. You of today versus you of tomorrow and you of day after tomorrow. Right? It's always about us and how are we becoming better. Okay. Now that we know some facts, some benefits of running, let's understand how can we get started with running, or few things, or about 6 things that we need to take care to start running or to become better at running. First thing, the most important thing, start small, start smart, right? Which means if you've never been into running, just start with a 15-minute jog in which you could just run for 100 meters, walk for 100 meters. Slowly, as you become comfortable with this, start increasing your run distance. Keep the walk distance the same. So you can keep walking every 200 meters, every 400 meters, every 800 meters, right? That's how you start slow and start smart rather than racing away. Second, most important, focus on consistency, right? Don't focus on distance, don't focus on the kilometer or the speed at which you're running. Just focus on showing up. Just be there at least 2 to 3 times a week to ideally start with. Third, I'm sure all of us Swasthya warriors are very good with this. Support with right kind of diet, right kind of nutrition, and importantly, the hydration, right? To whenever you start running, probably you can take a sip of water or electrolytes every 10 minutes, and slowly that can increase to 15, 20, and 30 minutes as you get more and more comfortable running, right? And ideally, for even people who run marathons, they take a sip of water or electrolytes once in 45 minutes, right? So that's the ideal state you want to go and reach, right? And fourth, the most important part, again, listen to your body. Sleep is not the only recovery that your body needs, right? You might be into running, you might be running well, and if your body does not hold up that day, or if you're feeling like your feet are like rock, right? You're not able to move them at all, right? Or you're feeling that your heart rate is beating, heart rate is too much compared to what you usually have. Listen to your body. Take a step back. The rest days and the easy days are also equally important for anybody to become a better runner. Okay. And the fifth one, which is the most common thing, like one more mistake that a lot of people do is not running slow. So it's important to run slow to run faster. Sounds like an oxymoron, right? You run slow 90% of the times. Let's say you're running 20 kilometers a week. Let's say you're running 20 kilometers a week. Out of that, 90% of the effort should be very slow run. How do we define slow running? If you're able to run and converse with somebody, right? If you're able to run and breathe easy without gasping for breath, that is running slow. So even the elite athletes, even the elite marathoners run 90% of the runs very slow. Only 10% is the time they test their speed. So running slow to run faster is a important way to get better. And the last thing, right? is the strength training. Remember, running is not an activity where you will build muscles, right? You're using the muscles that's already built. It's an aerobic activity. So it's important that we alternate running, one day of running with one day of strength training, right? So, however, how much ever you want to run a week, please club it to 3 or maximum of 4 days. So you can keep the remaining 2 to 3 days for your strength training. So work on your core muscles, your lower body, your upper body, right? That way, you're able to build strength that will help you to run better, run farther, and achieve more, right? So these are the 6 things that when you follow, right, you'll be able to start running better, right? And you'll be able to, if you're already running, you'll be able to run. You'll be able to see good difference in your running. All right. So with that, we have come to the end, and what we believe is everybody can run, right? I would like to challenge if you've never gone for a run, and this is only for the people who did not answer in the poll. If you have run a distance or when you do run, right? Go for a 15 minutes with the same walk and run combo this week, just once. Okay. And let us know in the next week's episode of Hello Swasthya how you felt. We would want to hear from you, and we want you to experience the joy of running. That, thank you so much, and back to the host.